Welcome to today's explainer. We so often think of heart disease as this sudden, totally unpredictable event, right? Like a thunderbolt out of a clear blue sky. But the medical reality is actually far more systematic, and honestly, in a way, far more within our control. Today, we're breaking down some absolutely fascinating insights from Dr. Vishal Kular. He's a cardiovascular and thoracic surgeon with over 3 decades of experience and literally 7,000 surgeries under his belt. He outlines what he calls the silent saboteurs, these everyday routines that are quietly putting our cardiovascular system under immense strain. I'm so thrilled to guide you through this because once you see how these mechanisms actually work, you'll understand exactly how to take your heart health right back into your own hands.
So, here's our roadmap for the explainer today. First up, the 10-year trap. Second, movement and rest. Third, diet and vices. Fourth, stress and surprising threats. And finally, reversing the damage. Okay, let's dive into this. Section 1, the 10-year trap. 10 to 15 years. That is a massive chunk of time. You see, a heart attack is rarely a sudden incident that just happens overnight. By the time symptoms like chest tightness or fatigue finally pop up, plaque has often been forming and hardening inside your arteries for a decade or more. It builds up so slowly over 10 to 15 years through these small, consistent, seemingly harmless daily choices that just quietly damage your cardiovascular system. It's really an accumulation of tiny insults to the body.
But wait, there is a totally amazing flip side to that reality. Listen to this quote from Dr. Kular. Most heart attacks are not caused by a single event, but by small, daily habits sustained over 10 to 15 years, and the heart begins to recover the moment those habits are corrected. That second half is just incredibly empowering, isn't it? It means that just as the damage is cumulative, the healing process is immediate. The very moment you correct a habit, your heart actually starts bouncing back. Moving right along to section 2. Movement and rest. Let's look at what happens when we don't let our bodies operate the way they were designed to. Look, the human body is built for regular movement. It just is. When you sit for long hours chained to a desk, your circulation slows way down, your blood sugar regulation gets completely disrupted, and triglyceride levels, which are the fats in your blood, actually rise. Your body essentially lowers its metabolic demand, and that leads to fat accumulating around your abdomen and, critically, right within your arterial walls. And here's the real kicker. Even if you're someone who hits the gym every single day, you still face a higher risk of heart disease if you remain glued to a chair for the remaining 12 hours of your day. No way around it. We all tend to fall for the 1-hour workout fantasy, right? We think a tough gym session just magically cancels out a whole day of sitting. But actually, scratch that. Small movement breaks win out every time for your heart. Getting up every 30 to 45 minutes just to stretch, taking your phone calls while pacing around, or just committing to a simple 20-minute evening walk after dinner. These small, consistent breaks keep your metabolic demand active. They prevent your arteries from just sitting under constant, stagnant pressure. But movement is only half of the physical equation here. Sleeping less than 7 hours a night on a regular basis is literally one of the most harmful things you can do to your heart. Why? Because sleep is that crucial period when your blood pressure is supposed to naturally drop, your heart rate slows, and the body does all its cellular repair work. If you cut your sleep short, you miss that natural nighttime blood pressure dip. Your arteries stay under pressure all night, every single night. Over the years, this sleep deprivation drives up chronic inflammation and measurably increases your risk of a heart attack. Let's move to section 3 and see how this builds. Diet and vices. Okay, we've all been there. Mornings are completely chaotic, so you just skip breakfast. But when you don't feed your body early, it panics. It literally starts holding on to fat. By 11 a.m., you're not just grumpy. Your entire blood pressure rhythm is thrown off. Then, the next time you finally do eat, your body triggers a massive insulin spike. This whole hormonal roller coaster inevitably leads to a huge 4 p.m. sugar crash, which is exactly when you find yourself eating, half a packet of biscuits. Eating a proper morning meal keeps cortisol calm and blood sugar steady, protecting your heart from these wild daily spikes. And when those 4 p.m. cravings hit, we so often fall into the fast food trap. Now, the real danger here isn't eating a single burger once in a blue moon. The danger is the cumulative intake. 4 burgers a week, plus chips, plus a giant cola. Packaged snacks are basically just sodium, refined oils, trans fats, and sugar, all wrapped up in clever marketing. This consistent, heavy influx of toxins makes your cholesterol creep up and actively narrows your arteries. In fact, because kids are growing up on this exact diet today,
cardiologists are now seeing serious heart trouble in people in their 20s. That's a real wake-up call.
Then, of course, there's smoking. Smoking is the single biggest preventable cause of heart disease, full stop. It directly wrecks the inner lining of your arteries and drops the oxygen in your blood. But quitting is incredibly hard, so Dr. Kohler offers these really practical, actionable steps for his patients. Step 1, figure out your trigger. Is it after your morning tea, or maybe right after a stressful meeting? Step 2, swap the habit with something like sugar-free gum or sunflower seeds. Step 3, reward your small wins. A week without smoking is a massive deal. And step 4, if you slip up, just restart. Don't make it a huge crisis. Just restart that exact same day.
All right, Section 4, stress and surprising threats. These are the hidden systemic triggers. While severe, sudden stress can occasionally trigger a heart attack in vulnerable people, the real everyday villain is chronic stress. This creates what cardiologists call the pressure cooker effect. The repeat stress of a modern workday keeps your cortisol levels up, your blood pressure elevated, and basically invites inflammation to creep right into your system. And worse, this pressure cooker effect actively pushes you toward the other bad habits we've talked about, like heavy drinking, eating junk food, or completely skipping your workouts. Which brings us to perhaps the most surprising habit on our entire list. What do your gums have to do with your heart? I mean, it sounds entirely random, right? But the link between your dental hygiene and your cardiovascular health is a bizarre, medically proven reality that you absolutely cannot afford to ignore. So the crucial point is, bacteria from simple gum disease doesn't just stay in your mouth. It can actually get into your bloodstream, travel straight down to your heart, and inflame your artery walls. This significantly raises the risk of atherosclerosis, which is the hardening of your arteries. And for people with artificial valves, this bacteria can cause endocarditis, a really serious infection of the heart's inner lining. All of this makes brushing for 2 full minutes and flossing every single night absolutely non-negotiable for your heart. Who knew, right?
And finally, Section 5, reversing the damage.
Look, nobody, and I mean nobody, fixes a decade of bad habits in a single weekend. If you try to change all 7 of these things tomorrow, you're going to burn out. Instead, the smartest strategy is this simple, month-by-month reversal plan. First, pick just 1 habit a month to focus on. Second, track your progress weekly, not daily, because obsessing daily just leads to frustration. And third, if you slip up, restart the very same day. Don't wait until next Monday. Your blood pressure can start dropping in a matter of weeks, and over months and years, you can literally reverse arterial damage. I want to leave you with a final thought to ponder today. Which 10-year habit will you break today? Will you start taking that 20-minute walk? Will you finally start flossing every night? Or will you commit to protecting your sleep? You now have the blueprint of exactly how these silent saboteurs work. The power to correct them and let your heart begin to recover starts right now with just a single choice. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and here's to a healthier, stronger heart.